pronation pails and rails for the elbow in the slot position. Now, this is hopefully not the first time you've encountered pails and rails, so this is more of an advanced pail and rail position. Now, what we're trying to do is get this as specific as possible to your arm slot position, to your release point. And the hardest part about this is really a setup. Now, I'm going to show this with a PVC pipe. I've had people use broomsticks before, or a longer baseball bat, fungo bat even. But realistically, any pole will work. I have a rack. You don't really need a rack. A door frame could work pretty well. You could probably set it up on a wall, but it's really only limited to the imagination you have. However, I will say you definitely need some form of a pole to do this well. Otherwise, it's just kind of too hard to set up, and you're going to be playing around with too many different variations. What we're going to do here is we're going to get this pole up against the rack there, and then I'm basically going to adjust it until I feel a pronation stretch, meaning my palm is facing away from my body as far as I can. Admittedly, I'm not going to be in a perfect slot position. Well, I can probably adjust it that way. So I can get into a slot position here with my elbow fully pronated. So right now, I'm allowing this to I'm twisting my elbow against this thing to make sure I'm in a pronated position in a similar like 45 average degree, slot position. From this point, I'm doing a 2-minute stretch as usual. I'm then trying to supinate out of this. So I'm trying to drive the backside of the pole into the rack, and then I'm going to try to supinate out of it, which means I'm going to try to get deeper. Sorry, I'm going to try to supinate out and try to pronate in. So let me be clear about that. I'm trying to supinate my hand inward, meaning take the back of the pole, drive it towards my right, camera left, and then I'm going to try to pronate even further and get deeper into that position there. Now, if I can do that, cool, then I just move a little closer to it and get a little farther in pronation that way. I can also put my hand down here, so it's a little bit less of a stretch for me to do that. Again, if I'm sitting down on the ground, it's probably a little bit easier because I can kind of adjust my body over in that direction. But each time I'm focusing on what's happening at the elbow joint. So supination first, trying to pull my palm inward using my elbow, and then pronation second, trying to get more pronation out of that position into a deeper stretch. After 2 minutes and 2 reps, we come out of it. We do a full elbow car to work out that range and then go down. Some ways you can modify this. If you have a way to do it, you can also kind of perch your elbow up on like a couch or a chair or a box for a box jump. I've done that before as well. That's just to make sure that you can actually hold your hand there for 2 minutes, because sometimes the shoulder can fatigue in that way. You don't want that to be limiting you. So if that's a problem, maybe if I'm in pronation here for that 2 minutes, I have my other hand holding it up, or I get something, if I'm sitting on the ground, I get something to kind of hold my arm up in that position, just to make it a little bit easier for that full 2-minute stretch, which is very important and something you can't skip.